One of the first questions we hear after people have heard about banding is, who should I invite to be in a band with me? Because the truth is that many of us desire these kinds of relationships and these friendships. The Bible affirms this desire. Take, for example, Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verses 9 through 12, where it says, "Two are better than one, because they have good return for their labor. If either of them falls down, one can help the other up. But pity anyone who falls and has no one to help them up. A cord of 3 strands is not easily broken."
Yeah, so we all want these kinds of relationships. The question is sort of, how do we find the people to do it with, and then how do we get it started? It might sound simple to say, but if you have desire for this kind of group in your life, one of the first places that we ask you to turn is to prayer. To simply begin to ask God that He would show you who it is that you might invite into this experience. We often say that a band doesn't require a leader, but it does require somebody as a facilitator. And oftentimes that person that first has it on their heart to get a band started ends up being the facilitator. They might be the one that invites. They might be the one that shares the model with a few other people. They might be the one that helps coordinate the time that people get together and start the band. But first and foremost, the question is, who do you band with? And so we found a few things that might be helpful on the way as you invite those people or as you think about that.
Yeah, so if you pray about it and a few people come to mind, one of the greatest things about bands is that once you've identified who you want to be in a band with, it really doesn't take much to get bands started. You can reach out to them, you can text them, call them, send them a voice message, or whatever means of communication feels best and appropriate, and just explain, this is what a band is, this is what I'm looking to do, is this something that you would be interested in? And we've seen this work with people who've known each other for 20 years, and we've also seen this kind of relationship develop and form with people who maybe the first time they've met or really had an extended conversation was in a band meeting. That was the case with my band. We actually got randomly put in a group to be in a band together. In our first band meeting, we were, shaking hands and saying, "What's your name and how old are you?" Those kinds of basic questions. But really, these questions are designed for new friendships and for old friendships, to just bring them to deeper levels and deeper places of belonging.
Yeah, again, going back to that point, you might think to yourself, well, the people that should be in my band, they should be like my best friends, and we're very involved in each other's lives, and we go on trips together, we know each other's families. That could be the case, but more often than not, we find that people that are sort of adjacent or close-ish, but not your best friends, actually make the best bandmates. In other words, they might not know every single thing about your lives. Oftentimes we find it easier to share more personal things about ourselves, believe it or not, and research backs this, with acquaintances. Take, for example, the fact that you can sit in a barber chair or get your hair done, and all of a sudden you're telling this person deep personal things about your life. The person doesn't have to be your best friend. In saying that, sometimes this could be somebody that you've had spiritual friendship with, you've been in a small group or a life group with. They've been a prayer partner or an accountability partner, or maybe you work out together. They're these kinds of people that have been around your life and support your growth, oftentimes make great bandmates. The single only requirement, in my estimation, to be in a band is that somebody wants to grow. They want to grow in their faith. They want to grow in their ability to be closer to Jesus and closer to other people. First and foremost, look for somebody that also wants to grow. And they might not have the same level of desire as you, but if your sense is that they're willing and that they're desiring to grow, take the courage to invite them.
Absolutely. And then when your band first begins to meet, we found that it is helpful to dub someone just as the facilitator. You're going to send the reminder text of, "Hey guys, reminder that we're meeting at this time." You're going to be kind of gathering people together. You'll introduce the model. Maybe you'll be the first person that's willing to share, to go first. And then as your band begins to meet, I think it is helpful to focus on these 3 particular things: consistency, courage, and confidentiality.
Yeah, on consistency, Finding a consistent time to meet each week is very, very helpful. I have seen groups fall apart so many times on not finding a consistent time. So once you find your people, find a consistent time to meet, and then it's simply a matter of showing up. Build consistency in the first month, 2, 3, 4 months. Make sure that you're really showing up. What we often say is, say you have a group of 4 and one person can't show up. It's okay to let the 3 continue on without you. Again, you're not going to miss anything necessarily, but if at least 3 of you can meet together, go ahead and meet. If it's down to 2 or less, maybe cancel for the week. You can always check in on text. But the most important thing is finding that consistent time to meet. One additional thing that we have found helpful when you're inviting people to be in a band is to give it a trial period. When you're inviting into something that has no end, people are often like, are we going to be together for the next 6 years? So maybe put it out to people, let's try this together for 3 months. We'll meet together over a period of 12 weeks and begin the model, practice it together, and then stop and assess along the way, how's this going? Do we want to continue? Maybe if your band has 3 people, somebody else might have a person that they think would be fitting for the band. Again, the group is up to you. You can go at your own pace, but we believe that this is something that is incredibly important and impactful for your life.